My stepdad grew up in the 70s, where playing sports played an important role in his life.
Let's see. My childhood was nice. It was pleasant. I grew up in the '70s. It seemed like a much simpler time. I grew up in Crestwood, so I started out playing football and baseball in Crestwood, which was really nice. I enjoyed it, and then I moved to Midlothian, and where I continued to play baseball and football, and that's what I did. I just kind of hung out with friends and just did what everyone was doing.
Playing sports helped my stepdad transition from one school to another.
Of course, I lived in Crestwood. I lived there until I was 10 years old or so, and then I moved over to Midlothian when I was probably 10. And it did help me. It did help me with, playing sports did help me with the transfer over to another school. My dad signed my brother and I up for baseball in Midlothian, so we were able to meet some of the kids that summer before the school started, and we were able to just meet the guys, and so we were able to make friends prior to that. And right after baseball season, we played football, so it was the same thing. So we were able to meet kids that were going into school, kids that lived around the new neighborhood. So that was very helpful. I mean, once we moved in, it really wasn't the new kid because I had already known quite a few people in the neighborhood, quite a few kids in the neighborhood.
His transition to high school was pretty simple, despite a completely new environment.
I think it was a little difficult. I think more just getting acclimated to a new school, a bigger school, more kids, more diverse kids. So it was a tad difficult. I was a little nervous, but I adapted pretty well. After a month or so, it was, like any other thing. It was just part of, what you did and your transition to growing up.
In high school, my stepdad did not face any major obstacles that he could not overcome.
I mean, there were things here and there that were difficult, but overall it wasn't. So of course sometimes I think one of the hardest things I think for anyone would be trying to balance friends, and then also I played sports in high school, and then also getting grades. And making sure I got good grades. So that was kind of difficult, but I had to make sure I kept that balance.
During high school, my stepdad's parents provided him with structure, but trusted him to do the right thing.
My my parents weren't on me. They kind of gave me some direction, and it was instilled in my brothers and I should say, that we were going to go to college after high school. So we were aware that grades came first, and everything else was secondary. So they didn't get involved a whole lot, but they did ask questions and how was school, how's that going, how are your grades, are you struggling anywhere? So they were very helpful with that, but other than that, they kind of took a step back, but just made sure that I was going in the right direction. And I feel if there were any situations where they felt that I wasn't behaving properly, then they would they would help with that direction.
The hardest part of his educational career was going to college.
I think the hardest is I went to when I went to college. It's just the whole transition. The whole transition. It's a much bigger transition from grammar school to high school than high school to college. It was difficult because that would have been the first time that I was living on my own, and I had my own money, and I had to make sure that I was. There was nobody there to make sure that I was doing the right thing. Making sure I go to class or anything like that. So it was a much bigger transition for me.
College was a completely new experience for my stepdad.
It was good. I enjoyed it. I mean, it was difficult at first. It was eye opening, and it was eye opening for a couple of different reasons. One is just like I had said before. One, it's the first time living on my own, but also what was even a bigger eye opener is just the diverse people, diverse students. I lived in the dorms, and there was so many different types of people from all over the state of Illinois and in other states, other surrounding states. So that was a big eye opener, that how people how other students, the types of music they liked, their behaviors, their their majors, everything like that. You get a huge diverse amount of students there, so that was a big eye opener.
My stepdad didn't have a favorite course in college, but he preferred the mathematics and sciences. He also played intramural sports all through college.
I just did mostly intramurals. I didn't go further. I did play baseball and football in high school. All four. I played 2 years of football and 4 years of baseball in high school. But that was the extent of my baseball career. But when I went to college, I enjoyed sports, so I did whatever I could. There was floor hockey, there was basketball, there was softball, football, flag football, anything like that. That we can get. Just got a bunch of guys together, had a team, and then they always had intramurals within the school. My freshman year in college, we played softball. We had softball. Our floor played the other towers, other dorms, and we actually took first place, which was a lot of fun. So that was nice, and I really enjoyed it. I was able to get a good education.
My stepdad was able to get a good education and have fun during college.
When it was a little bit of downtime, we're able to enjoy sports and weather and just being around everyone my age, and so that was a lot of fun. I think they did. I think they did. I think even if I don't think they directly did, they definitely helped me. Like the all the mathematical courses I took, it helped me think a little bit outside the box and very analytical in trying to solve problems, which helps me with my current job as problem solver. What I really enjoyed about it, and what was really helpful about all the classes I took in college is it makes you a well-rounded person. So it's always nice to be able to go into a conversation with whomever it was, especially now that I'm in meetings with other vice presidents, that I'm able to speak on certain subjects and speak, clearly and they understand. So it makes you well rounded, and I think that's beneficial. And I think that's the whole reason why their college requires you to take those courses. So that's beneficial. So yeah, it did help me with my career.